Hello again, my fellow Jiu-Jitsu peeps. Jiu-Jitsu as we know it has been around for about a century now, and people from all walks of life seem to enjoy it. Some do it for self-defense, while others do it because it's a fun way to stay in shape. But as long as it exists, there will always be those of us that try to push our own limits, go beyond what anyone has done before, and achieve something truly great. So in this video, we're going to be covering the 10 greatest moments in Jiu-Jitsu. These will be the moments that more than anything else changed what people thought was possible in Jiu-Jitsu and usher in a new era of creativity in the sport. Number 10. Mahaj Gracie versus Marcus Buchecha. This was actually a rematch of their fight at the first ever Metamoris back in 2012. That fight was a 20-minute, no points, submission-only match that ended up going the distance and ending with a draw. The rematch was a 15-minute bout with points and the IBJJF scoring system. Given that Buchecha was coming off of his 5th win at Worlds, both at his weight class and the absolute, and was widely considered one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, most people assumed it'd be an easy victory for Buchecha over the aging Gracie. About halfway through the match, they were still on their feet, and it looked like it was going to be a repeat of their match from Metamoris 5 years before. That is until Gracie pulled guard, swept Buchecha, took his back, and ended up finishing him halfway through the match with a bow and arrow choke, to the shock and amazement of all watching. And to add to the moment, Mahaj immediately after announced his retirement from competition, bringing an end to a truly storied career as a grappler. Number 9. Clark Gracie versus Mahaj Hataj. This match took place in the beginning of 2013 at the Abu Dhabi Pro Trials in San Diego. Going into it, Gracie was by far the bigger name, coming from a distinguished family, and making a name for himself with his creative use of omoplata attacks. By contrast, Mahaj had a much smaller name, making Gracie an easy favorite. Despite this, Mahaj decided to send it, and in the first minute, pulled guard, locked up a baseball bat choke, let Gracie pass to his back, and finished the match by choking him unconscious. This would open up a Pandora's box of people trying his signature move, hitting it in competitions all over, and I'll bet somebody's even tried to do it to you. Yes, you viewer watching this video right now. Number 8. Nicky Ryan versus Gio Martinez. So Nicky Ryan was 17 the time this match happened. But what makes this fight so crazy is the fact that it only came about because Nicky Ryan at 16 years old called out Gio Martinez. Wow. How many 16-year-olds would call out a seasoned veteran like Gio Martinez like that? Nicky did have a fight with Paulo Miyao before this that he ended up losing by points. But this fight, which he won by a referee's decision, would help cement him as a grappler on the rise to watch out for, and not just the brother of Gordon Ryan. Number 7. Gordon Ryan winning double gold at ADCC. Now Ryan had actually done ADCC 2 years prior to this, winning the men's 88 kilogram division, but coming short in the finals of the absolute to Felipe Pena. He would come back stronger in 2019, move up a weight class, and clean house in his division with notable wins over Lucas Barboza and teammate Gary Tonin, and would defeat legendary grappler Marcus Buchecha in the finals of the absolute bracket to bring home the gold. And what made this outing so notable is that it would add him to the list of grapplers such as Andre Galvão and Marcelo Garcia as one of the greatest grapplers of all time. Number 6. Marcelo Garcia submitting a Vitor Shaolin. Now this happened at ADCC way back in 2003, back when you could still get a ninja loan.
Ninja loans. No income, no job. I just leave the income section blank if I want.
Shaolin was an established black belt from Nova União and favorite to win his bracket that year. Garcia, on the other hand, was completely unknown, coming from a small Brazilian town whose name literally means ant. Despite this, Marcelo did go into their match undaunted, and in the first minute hit an arm drag to the back, locked up a rear naked choke, and won the match by putting Shaolin to sleep. Marcelo would go on to win the bracket, kickstarting an insane grappling career. And as of today, there isn't a single person I know that would dispute Marcelo's place among the grappling greats. What's up guys? Hope you're enjoying the video. If you are, these videos do take me a while to make, so please just hit that like button. Now let's get back to the video. Number 5. Hoffa Mendes winning ADCC at 19. Yes, you heard right. At 19 years old, this victory puts him as the youngest man ever to win an ADCC medal. At 19, I had only been doing jiu-jitsu for about 6 months, and he had just won the biggest tournament in the world. So he had actually competed at Worlds earlier that year and taken bronze against Cobrinha. He actually had to face Cobrinha again in the finals of ADCC. They actually went all the way through 20 minutes of regulation time and one 10-minute overtime round, before Hoffa would secure the back take at the end of the second overtime round to secure the victory. And now with 2 ADCC golds and 6 golds from Worlds, Hoffa Mendez is easily one of the greatest grapplers in history. Number 4, Eddie Bravo vs. Royler Gracie. Another underdog story for the ages. Royler was busy lighting the jiu-jitsu competitive world on fire, winning 3 ADCC titles back-to-back, and was by no surprise the favorite to win his bracket that year. However, fate had something different in store for that day in the form of a 33-year-old failed musician from Santa Ana, California. The match started as many others had that day, with Eddie pulling guard and Royler starting to initiate his passing game. It was seen mostly as a formality that Royler had to go through to get to the finals. However, around the 9-minute mark, Royler found himself in Eddie's guard, and Eddie was able to execute a beautifully elegant triangle setup from the overhook, and within a few seconds got the tap from Royler. What makes this underdog story different from the other ones on our list is that Eddie did not win his bracket that day, nor did he even become a world-class grappling champion, but he would use his newfound fame to start his own brand of jiu-jitsu, 10th Planet, and train exclusively no-gi, which not very many schools do even today, which has become one of the biggest movements in jiu-jitsu, with schools all across the globe. Good job, dude. Number 3, EBI 1. With so many jiu-jitsu prize-fighting promotions today, like Fight to Win and Submission Underground, it's hard to think of a time where these were more of an exception rather than the rule. However, all that would change on June 1st, 2014 with the introduction of the Eddie Bravo Invitational, a 16-man single elimination bracket where the winner would take home a cash prize of $10,000. In addition to being one of the first tournaments to stream all its matches live and offer such a huge cash prize to its winner, EBI would also introduce a submission-only rule set that would make the sport more spectator-friendly. With too many promotions that have a similar rule set these days, from quintets to Polaris, the impact that EBI has had on the competitive jiu-jitsu scene cannot be overstated. Number 2, Kazushi Sakuraba submitting Renzo Gracie. So this happened back in 2000, and it was actually the 3rd time that he would have faced a member of the Gracie family that year. He had previously submitted Royler and made Royce's corner throw in the towel after their epic 90-minute battle at the Pride Grand Prix final. Renzo was the last big Gracie fighter, besides Hickson of course, that would accept the challenge of facing the man they called the Gracie Hunter. And all seemed to be going to the game plan for Renzo, until at the end of the 2nd round, Renzo would go for a takedown attempt, and Gracie would counter with his signature double wrist lock, reverse Renzo, and break his arm, forcing the referee to call the fight. These 3 fights with the Gracie family would serve to shatter the illusion of Gracie invulnerability that had previously been set by their iconic performances at the first UFCs. Number 1, Royce Gracie winning UFC 1. Looking at the level of professionalism, organization, and the high caliber of athletes that you see in the UFC today, it would be hard to imagine a guy in a gi getting in there with a boxer that was only wearing 1 glove. Yet that's exactly what happened at the first UFC. The premise was incredibly simple. No biting or eye gouging, but anything else was legal. Have martial artists from disparate disciplines across the globe come into the cage under limited rules and see which martial art was the best for one-on-one combat. You had a 6'5" heavyweight kickboxer, and a 6'1" wrestler and Hulk of a man in Ken Shamrock. And of all the titans competing that night, who would win? It would be a scrawny 150-pound Brazilian that looked like he would be more at home at a skate park than a cage fight. What this win would show to the world was the effectiveness of this jiu-jitsu that had been developed in Brazil, and how a very average-looking guy could beat somebody twice his size with superior technique and strategy. Gracie Jiu-Jitsu would explode in popularity after this, and would make the Gracie family so synonymous with jiu-jitsu that their presence in jiu-jitsu is so huge even to this day, almost 30 years later. Congratulations guys, you made it to the end of the video. If you think there's something that I missed out, let me know what it is down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, which you probably did since you're still watching, then be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It would really help me out. Thank you guys. If you guys are new around here, I'm Jedi. I post a new video every Friday where I try to both entertain and educate you guys about jiu-jitsu. So if you'd like to see more videos like this, then be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Until next time guys, stay hungry, stay blessed, stay consistent. I'll see you guys next week.
You love to talk, I don't talk, I get it. Yeah, you know I'm about it, if it kill me, I'ma let it. Run into the bag like I'm so athletic. I've been up since 6, making hits like tennis. I've been on fire, I just need my credit. Wanna go